just thought I'd ask because it's changing so much, and I just
100%.
wanted your perspective.
No, I have so much to say about this. I mean, that could be a call in itself, but I think it just, my high level answer is it really depends. It depends on your strengths and weaknesses personally. It also depends on your niche and the clientele that you're serving and their budget and just like the type, like, are you working with a local roofer or are you working with a big corporate tech company where you don't lift a finger unless the budget's at least 10 grand versus like a local, maybe kind of blue collar business where like you'll talk about doing something for maybe 2 or 3K a month on retainer. There's a lot to unpack there. I think it depends on who your client base is. I think if you're working with like local service businesses, almost offering some sort of ad is almost a necessity if you want to stand out because so many people are doing that now. That doesn't mean you have to become an agency and you have to learn ads and you have to do it. I personally recommend for most videographers to find a really great partnership with a couple ad agencies and outsource that part where you focus on the video, they focus on the ad strategy, you guys work hand in hand, you mark it up a little bit, you take a little cut, you white label the work to them, and you get to focus on what you're good at and what you're passionate about, which is video production and video strategy and getting the results of the video, and let an agency deal with the headaches of paid advertising. Because if anyone who here has ran some paid advertising for themselves or for their clients, has anyone done that? It's a fucking headache sometimes, right?
Yeah.
It's an absolute headache sometimes. And it's a different relationship with the client where it is much more transactional and a lot less relational. So in a video business, it's like your clients are going to keep hiring you because they like working with Riley. You're on time, you're fun to work with, you're cool, you deliver great results, deliver great videos. They like working with you. And it's a lot more about the relationship. And you can nurture those relationships and work with people for a very long time if you do it right. If you become sort of like an agency, it becomes very transactional. It's how much did we spend this month and how much did we make? And that's really all that matters. And even if you're a great guy, if you're not getting them the return on their ad spend that they were looking for, they're probably going to fire you. And with that, their expectations are extremely high right now because so many people are tapping into this. And so you guys have probably seen the ads. It's like, hey, if you're a local service business, like you've probably seen some of the ones that I've ran, but some of them are like really crazy. Like the guarantees that they'll promise of like, in the first 30 days, we'll triple your lead flow or triple your business, or, we'll give you your money back, or we'll pay for your next month's ad spend. They're saying these crazy things, which in the short run is working for them because they're closing deals. But in the long run, it's ruining the industry for everybody because when these clients get on calls with you, they have these extremely unrealistic expectations. So it's becoming really hard to get people the results they're looking for with paid ads and get them to retain more than 3 months. That is one of the reasons. Again, this is a huge topic that I could really spend an entire call unpacking. But all in all, I think most videographers do not like running ads. I get the appeal of them because it's like inbound leads, you set up the system, you put $1 in, you get 4 out, you get 6 out, but it's really hard to do that. There's a lot that has to happen perfectly on the back end, from your actual campaign setup, your campaign strategy, to the creative, to split testing, to constantly having to change that creative every couple weeks, especially with some AI updates that Instagram has recently rolled out around their advertising algorithm. It's called Andromeda or Andromeda. I don't know how to pronounce it. But long story short, like paid ads are a lot of work to get that result that they can provide for you and for your clients. And if you've never done it for yourself and you've never done it for a client, I would never run an ad for a client for money if you've never successfully gotten yourself or a client results from paid ads, because there's a huge learning curve. Long story short, I think that as soon as you move away from being a video production company, a video business, and you start to offer paid ads, it just changes everything. It changes everything about your business. It changes how you do outreach. It changes how you network. It changes how you position yourself. It's going to change what you're spending time on. It's going to change what you're thinking about. And myself, I run ads, but I hate it. And I'm actually looking at getting on LinkedIn and doing a lot more organic on LinkedIn because ads are just becoming such a freaking headache, to be completely honest. So do they work? Yes. Can they work? Yes. Are there some people that are really good at it and some agencies that are really good at it? Yes. My personal preference is stay in my lane, focus on producing really quality videos, build your entire process and system around that. If somebody wants paid ads, we can pull in a partner that we trust that's really great at that. They handle the ads, you handle the video content. It's a win-win. I've worked with a lot of videographers and people on this. 9 times out of 10, that's the winner.
But I would still offer the service of posting and not even mention boosting.
Correct. Yeah. So again, like when I'm saying agency, I am saying company who's running paid ads for a client. I don't think that posting on your client's behalf necessarily means that you're an agency. What you have to be cautious of is diluting your services and becoming everything for everyone. So it gets dangerous when they go, now we need a website, and you go, we can do that too. And they go, we also need a new logo. We can do that too. We want to rebrand. We can help you with that too. And then all of a sudden you go from like this high-end video production company that's really good at that to this diluted almost agency where you're offering everything, and those are a dime a dozen. Those are very cheap. It's hard to position. Those people don't make a ton of money most of the time. Yeah, Josh feeling called out. And it's really tempting to do because, you know, you have a client on the line and they're willing to give you money and they go, we throw you $5,000, can you do our website? It's really tempting to just say yes to that, but it's a very short-term play, and long-term it's going to hurt you. That's my opinion. And I think especially right now, this advice is becoming even more critical because there's so much noise and so many people trying to do this. And I think just entrepreneurship is on the rise. Like, it's actually becoming easier to be your own boss than it is to go get a 9-to-5. And I think that the landscape of the whole 9-to-5 being stable is changing. I no longer think 9-to-5s are stable. People get, you see it all the time. I have a good friend who has worked at a construction company very high up for the last 10 years. He's their top guy. He has records and awards and he gets paid very well. Out of nowhere, he just got laid off for no reason, essentially. So no longer is the 9-to-5 as stable as it once was. And I think that narrative is being adopted at a high level. So there's a lot more people starting businesses, starting agencies, starting video businesses, becoming these agencies. And so with that, if you just do the same thing that everyone else is doing, you're gonna blend in and it's gonna be a race to the bottom. So you gotta hyper specialize and get really good at one thing if you wanna be able to continue to charge a premium. I just think if you're a generalist, you're gonna get cooked right now. So I know that was a very long-winded rant, but these little decisions of like, yeah, I'll do a website for you now. You gotta be careful with that because that can dilute your service. And I'm not saying you take it on and then you outsource it. That's fine. But you communicate, we're the video production company. That is what we're good at. That's our bread and butter. We're gonna pull in a partner to handle this website for you. That's fine. That's white labeling. But doing everything in-house and then hiring a website person and now you're offering all these services, you know, and you have your website and you have, we do web design, video production, photography, events, weddings, those companies are getting cooked right now because they're not standing out. So I'll get off my high horse there. If anyone has any follow-up questions, let me know. But that's just like a big brain dump on how I'm seeing things right now.